Hi, everybody. I'm Scott. This is Ricky. And today we're going to talk a little bit about restaurant marketing and how you can get more people in the door, more diners through online marketing. Ricky here is one of the SEO specialists and a content writer with our company, and he also has a lot of experience in the past working in the restaurant industry.
Yeah, I do.
So, Ricky, let's just get started. Let's talk a little bit about a restaurant website and some of the things that make a restaurant website effective.
You want a comprehensive website for a restaurant. You want as much information as possible, not just an address, some ideas of what you serve. You want a full menu. You want specials if they have them. You want pictures of the kind of food you serve and not stock photos. And any other information.
Not stock photos, huh?
No.
I can't just go on and get a picture of the perfect looking hamburger and stick it on my restaurant website?
You can do that, but people they're going to catch on real quick that that's not the food you serve, and that's not what you want.
Right.
You want to be genuine.
So the menu, you really have to highlight the menu, of course, huh?
Yes, including prices, including appetizers, desserts, drink specials. Everything that you serve should be on your website.
I have to admit that I go to a lot of restaurant websites, and I have trouble sometimes finding the menu, and I can't believe that. And usually I go somewhere else, and I can't.
Yeah.
I got to see the menu. I got to be able to get to it quickly.
A menu definitely needs to be front and center, as should your address and even a map of where you're located.
Okay.
So, and pictures are very important because you eat with your eyes. That's the first thing. All right. If something looks good, you're going to eat it. So you want that visual aspect of your website.
So in a sense, your plate presentation starts with your website.
It begins on the front page of your website.
Okay.
It does.
Good. And you mentioned location, of course.
Yes.
I always find also, obviously, if I can't find where they are or a phone number, that's irritating. I want that immediately visible.
All that information should be on the front page, on your landing page, yes.
What is the importance of making sure that your website displays really well on mobile devices?
Well, I mean, we don't sit at home all the time figuring out where we're going to eat. A lot of times it's a spur of the moment thing. Maybe you're running errands and you're like, oh, it's 1 o'clock. We missed lunch. What do you want to do? Well, you pull out your iPhone or your Android device and you're scrolling. You're looking for something close by, something tasty. But if you're not mobile developed, you're not going to come up and you're not going to get that business.
We call that a mobile responsive website, something that will automatically display and look good on a mobile screen. Really important.
And as a matter of fact, everything that's on your website should be mobile friendly, including the menu.
Yeah, especially that. Yeah.
Yes.
I've obviously a PDF of your actual physical menu.
Something that's not going to load or is going to take too long to load on your cell phone, you're going to skip right over.
And you can't view it.
And you're going to go on to the next place.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I know all the time. And recently I was just like, Siri, where's the best pad thai Fort Collins? People make those kinds of searches. You want to make sure you come up with that kind of thing. Speaking of searches and keywords, what are some of the things that we look for with restaurants? Obviously, we do a lot of search marketing. So people can find you through Google or Bing, mainly Google.
Right.
What are some of the kind of keys in terms of those keywords that restaurants need to think about?
Well, obviously, ethnic. You want Italian food. You want, Chinese food or whatever. Second is the type of food. Do you want burgers? Do you want barbecue? You got to think in those terms.
So you need to kind of have content that covers.
You need to cover everything. I mean, even specifically, you may want a certain type of barbecue, a specific barbecue, or a specific type of Asian food. Maybe you don't
like
want
I just
Chinese.
said, an individual dish.
Exactly. Yeah.
I often actually search for a dish.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Somebody might want spaghetti and meatballs. They're going, where's the closest place I can get spaghetti and meatballs?
Right. Definitely.
And if you're an Italian restaurant, that needs to be a keyword.
So you work a lot with kind of the SEO stuff. You also really need to do paid search for this stuff as well.
Yeah, I'm not all that familiar about the paid search, but it also helps in organic searches.
It does,
as
right.
well. Yes.
And the paid search is the stuff that shows up in the very top spots. So again, pay-per-click on what they call Google AdWords. Our program is called Top Placement Ads. It puts you at the top, and especially on those
Right.
mobile searches, that's important.
Yeah, it is important. Yeah. And a lot of times they'll even say, website, and you just click on the website, or you click on the menu. They'll have a menu icon there, and that's real handy in case you just want to go straight to the menu. So,
Yeah, okay, yeah, definitely. And then, of course, you also want to be on Google for Business, which ties into the
Yes.
Maps location.
Yes, and again, it comes up with the different icons where you can go to specific parts of the website, which is handy, and it's got the map right there, the directions.
Yeah, obviously,
It's all
right.
right there, yeah.
Another thing that shows up on that and other sites like Yelp, and most restaurateurs are familiar with what goes on with this, are reviews from previous diners. What are your thoughts on how to get more positive reviews from your regulars and people who really had a great experience? How to deal with reviews from somebody who was unhappy, and how to make that work for you?
You're always going to have people that are unhappy. If you don't have a negative review, I think people are going to view that as strange, like maybe you're paying people to give you good reviews. But I think one way is through social media. You can tweet out or post on Facebook, hey, if you've been in and tried this and liked it, say something about it. Help us out here. If it's a place that you go to and you enjoy, you will do that.
Or even with diners while they're there, say, hey, I'm glad you loved it.
yeah.
Could you write us a review on Google? What are the big ones? Obviously, Yelp basically kind of started out as a restaurant review. It's expanded to more businesses, but it's big.
It's big, yes. Yes.
And then also the Google for Business actually has reviews right there on the result page.
They do, yes. Yes. You can also set up your website to have your own reviews.
Right, so you can have them on your website. You can use
Yeah.
Top Rated Local,
You can
which
use
is
top-rated local, yeah.
a platform that we provide.
Yeah, and that's something that people see that and they respect it. They know what it is.
What do you do when you get a review and it's just somebody just tears into you? This place sucked. They're really unfair even.
Yeah. Well, you could respond. I guess it depends on what they're saying, but respond. If it was a fair assessment of your restaurant, offer an apology and move on, because that's just going to happen.
Okay, yeah. I think I've rarely seen a restaurant review profile where there aren't some people who complain about something.
Exactly.
You're right. I almost expect to see a
You
few
expect
negatives.
to see a few negatives on there.
from people
But
who
if
just
the, if
gripe.
the negatives outweigh the positives, then that's a red flag. And
Right. You got to make sure you get some good ones from the people who are really happy.
And if you're a quality restaurant, you will get the good reviews.
Yeah.
If you serve good food, you're going to get good reviews. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, the quality of your food, your service, all of that kind of goes into your marketing
Yeah,
nowadays.
exactly. Yes.
Good. So you mentioned social media, things like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat.
Pinterest too. Yes,
Pinterest.
They're all very important in the restaurant industry. Because
Describe how that's the
because
case.
it's visual, which is why you use Instagram, Pinterest, and even Facebook. Restaurants are a day-to-day business. All right, you have different specials every day. You have different food specials, different drink specials. You're changing up the menu, somewhat. If you entertain, you have different bands. You have different functions going on. You may even have something like closure for, say, a reception or something. There's always something going on in the restaurant business that you need to get out to the public. And the best way to do that, the quickest way to do that, is through social media. So you need to have a strong social media presence.
And you need somebody in your restaurant, really, don't you? Somebody there with their phone taking pictures.
You do. Yeah, you do.
And doing it frequently.
And almost every day.
Yeah.
Almost every day. How many restaurants do you see that they have, sandwich boards, or they have the signage outside? Those aren't up for a week. They're not even up for 2 or 3 days. They change those every day.
Right.
That's how you should run your social media.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of people, a lot of your diners are going to be out there. And restaurants are one of those things people will follow.
They will. They
you
will.
you get your regulars who like your dishes.
Mm-hmm.
They look forward to specials. They want to hear that stuff, and they'll share it with others.
And they will share it with others.
And that's
They
another
will.
way to kind of expand that. That's
Yes.
very good.
Yes. I show love for the restaurants I go to.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, of course, yeah. And especially the ones that I really like, where they really treat me right, and it's really something I love.
I'll even go as far as suggest a special for the next day or two if I'm feeling up to it.
Well, you